Hello and welcome to part 4 in the ongoing continuing series on domestic terrorism here in Canada. Past couple of episodes I've introduced you to two significant people. The last person being Alex Hundert, who, as I indicated, was the absolute number one head of Antifa here in Toronto and of course in all of Canada, and how his influence is very far-reaching. Today I'm going to start expanding on that, and this is going to be done in a couple of parts because I'm going to be covering Antifa quite a bit. What I want to do today, though, is I'm going to move out of Ontario for a moment and into the Quebec region. In Quebec, as we have in all provinces, they of course have very large anarchist population there. Montreal being sort of like the focal point of that. Headed over there by one of the most dangerous people out there named Jaggi Singh. Jaggi Singh, however, is a little bit different than Alex Hundert in that he gets right in the middle of things. He has no problem smashing things up. He'll travel all over the country. And he has no problems with things like violence, property destruction, stuff like that. However, Antifa in Quebec are a little bit unique in that they've always had a very long history of extreme violence. Like for them, violence is basically par for the course. You know, you don't get one without the other in this case. During the G7 summit that was held last year in just outside of Quebec City, Jaggi Singh, for example, and a select member of his crew decided to go over to the site to do some reconnaissance there because they wanted to make a major disruption of it. Luckily, that was his plans were intercepted fairly quickly. Involved was a guy named Kevin Metcalf over here in Toronto as well. Between the two of them, while they did post some stuff online, a little further digging showed that exactly what they planned on doing, and that was reported to the appropriate authorities, and that was stopped. However, one of the things that has come out of that also was that Antifa in Quebec operate what is basically a domestic terrorist secret training camp. And this is really open only to what seems to be the very top of the most violent anarchists / domestic terrorists over there. I'm happy to say that while initially there was a lot of talk about weapons, things like firearms training, explosive training and stuff like that, I learned very recently that they were actually lost all their firearms through either a raid or some other means. I'm not really sure on that, but that is how serious these guys have always been. In fact, if you look at the couple of screenshots that I'm going to add over here, you're also going to see just some of the stuff that these guys do. Everything from makeshift weapons, such as loaded forearms that are kind of, you can see over here. That a loaded forearm, just so that you know, is basically putting and taping a metallic or wooden object to your forearm, a wrench, a pipe or whatever, and using that to assault people with. They've done all that. They have improvised explosive devices. They have chemical weapons that they use, and they don't even bother trying to hide this anymore. They've even gotten to the point where they are actually encouraging people to wear police uniforms in order to better infiltrate police lines and cross them. So this is the level of danger that you're dealing with a group like this. As I said, Montreal has quite a notorious bunch of people like that. They've been responsible for a great many riots, and in fact, that same group has also come to places like Toronto for the G20 riots that they have over here. This group of terrorists in Montreal are sort of like the go-to people that, you know, if you need a riot and you need somebody to smash things, these are the people you call. They'll travel at a moment's notice. Well, they don't have jobs, of course, so they can go anywhere they want. They get paid for it anyway. But this is the sort of level that this group has gone towards being now. I can't stress enough the danger that these people are. And in fact, I'm going to show you one guy here that he actually was just found guilty in court of assaulting a senior citizen at a protest in Montreal. The sentencing as of this shooting hasn't even been announced yet. I'll be getting court documents on that probably in the near future. Jaggi Singh, of course, does have, as I said, many accomplices, and one of the most violent is a guy named Menard, who actually is Jaggi Singh's roommate. So we, of course, know where he lives, all that, and it's very, very, very possible that these two people are two of the top main architects of most of the violence, if not all, in Quebec. At least in the Montreal area, but most likely Quebec. Certainly we know that in Toronto they have come here. We've got photographs of them here in Toronto as well. I'm going to, in the next little bit, I'm also going to expand a little more on this particular group, on Antifa. I'm going to show you a little more, some more screenshots in the next episode as well of some of the actions that they do, how they actually manage to go about doing this. But I'm also going to touch next time on, back here in Toronto, on how the churches become involved as a little added bonus as well. I know, of course, I'm going to name the churches, name the people who run those churches, but I'm also going to get into a little bit on a guy named Dave Vassy. Now, Dave Vassy, he died of a drug overdose through suicide around the New Year's holiday, but the church involvement with him runs very deep through the whole anarchist thing, and I'm going to start touching on that a little bit as well. You're not going to want to miss that, so stay tuned and stay safe.